What's going on, guys? You're watching the Mighty Gaming channel. I'm the Mighty Miguel. Today I have my second tips and tricks for No Man's Sky. These are mostly things that the game doesn't tell you that don't really break the game, but would be super helpful if you knew. Let's get straight into them. The first one on my list is definitely the shoulder bash jetpack trick. Now, if you run, you can sort of get around reasonably quick. You can also jetpack and run, which is kind of a little faster, but not super fast. On PC, if you press Q, it has like a melee attack. You basically punch things. You can actually use this to mine, believe it or not, which is kind of funny. But anyway, if you can time that punch as you're moving forward, it does like a shoulder bash. So if you can time that shoulder bash with a jetpack, you can actually like turbo thrust yourself forward with the jetpack and travel way, way, way further. And if you're falling down at the same... If you're going down at the same time, it seems to make you go even further. I mean, every now and then you get like look how far I just traveled. At running pace, that would have taken ages to get all the way over here. The blue crystals on planets, or sorry, the blue plants. I thought I just saw one, but apparently it's gone. Make you go further as well. But anyway, shoulder bash, and jetpack together equals super jetpack. Wow, you go so far. But anyway, that is tip number 1. Alright guys, tip number 2. If you look through your visor, you see lots of red dots in the distance usually. These are animals that you haven't scanned yet. Red dots is... I thought they meant like aggressive animals, but it's animals you haven't scanned. Once you scan them, they'll go green. So basically you can just look around now for red dots. Okay, I've already scanned those because they're green. But if you see red dots, is there no more... Okay, apparently there's no more animals here to scan. But anyway, if you see red dots... Oh, there's one. There's a red dot that way. What's that? Ooh. Do my shoulder bash trick. Get some speed going. Here it is. It's red until I scan it, and then it goes green. Beautiful! Awesome. And if you're wondering how I'm getting so much money from scanning things, please check my part 1 tips and tricks for No Man's Sky video, which I will link up there. But anyway, on to the next tip. Alright guys, this is tip number 3. If you're going to buy a new freighter, rip all the stuff that you built in your old freighter out before you buy the new one, because you'll get a full refund. I will show you. Build menu. Delete. 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 Now if I look at my inventory right now... Oh, look at that! All the parts to build all those things I just tore out. So if I go back to the build menu... Say I've bought the new freighter now, and I'm in there building everything again. That one. Would you look at that? I got all the stuff back that I just deleted. So it would save you a massive amount of time other than getting all that stuff and letting it go to waste. Just delete them and build it again. If it seems to be like a time thing, if it's your base and you've had it for more than say a day, you can just delete everything in it and you get the full refund of the parts, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, so if you're gonna buy a new freighter, tear everything out of the old one, buy the new freighter, and then rebuild it all because you've already got all the materials because they gave you a full refund. Next tip. Alright guys, tip number 4. If you've got your visor scanner and you use it on the plant inside your hydroponics boxes, it tells you how long it takes to grow. So say if I harvest this plant and then I scan it, it says there's a growth time remaining, 39 minutes and 54 seconds. Now this is not currently important, but after patch 1.55, I think it is, it's coming out today or tomorrow, when this video is recorded, these times are about to drastically change to way longer. I'm talking like days. So instead of waiting days to wonder how long it's going to take for your plant to grow, you can just use a scanner. It'll come up on the screen telling you how long it's got. And then you can harvest it again. And again. Now this takes me into the next tip, which is tip number 5, is the growth boxes that you use, they actually want, like, they want to be filled with carbon. You don't actually need to fill them with carbon for them to keep, like, growing. It just makes them grow faster, I believe. I haven't filled any of my boxes with carbon for ages, and as you can see, everything is growing. Let's check this tray. There you go, that tray is 100% empty. It's now going to glow red for some reason, but as I said, I haven't filled any of my trays for forever, and they're all still growing. Although if you check them, they go red, which is weird, but they still grow, even if they're red. Okay, you can clearly see this is red. And that plant will still grow in 38 minutes and 45 seconds. Exactly the same as this one who... Well, let's test this. Give me 2 plants that are the same. Okay, these 2 plants are exactly the same type. Right, I'm going to harvest both of them. And then I'm going to check this one so it turns red. And I'm going to fill the other one so it stays blue. Alright, so this one has the carbon, that one doesn't. Both same plants, I harvested them both at the same time. Scanner says that one will grow in 29 minutes and 45 seconds. And Scanner says that one will grow in 29 minutes and 40 seconds. There's no difference! Why? Why do you have to put the fuel in it to make it grow faster? Like, it grows at exactly the same speed. Don't bother wasting your fuel putting it in there. It doesn't need it. That's tip number 4 and 5. Alright guys, tip number 6 is to get yourself a money-making planet. Either find a planet that has good resources to mine. My original base was built on a planet that had salt resources everywhere. Salt was worth a lot of money. So I built auto miners to mine the salt, which made me money. It made me about, I don't know, $500,000 every half an hour, something like that. Not great, not terrible. Actually, it's pretty terrible. What I've done now is I've built a base on what I call these Zerg planets, which are basically planets that have those eggs that show up everywhere, exactly like this one. And basically you can just drive around and just farm the eggs. Now most people shoot these things with the mining beam. That's wrong actually, till they patch it. Just mine underneath it, and you'll get the egg with no consequences. Oh look, no monsters! Ah, that's handy. As I said, if you can find one of these planets, just cruise around and just keep grabbing the eggs, and that's a pretty good source of making money. That's tip number 6, get yourself a money-making planet. Now here's a sneaky little bonus tip for you. If you forget about shooting underneath the eggs to just make them disappear for a second, the other thing you can do is build yourself a low gravity. Just get up on there. Come. There you go. Nope, I missed again. There we go. Build yourself a small, portable item. Doesn't even matter what it is. And then shoot the egg. And then the monsters will not be able to find you. Oh, I'm right here. Oh. Now this is super handy if you're mining those abandoned buildings where there's a whole stack of eggs all in one spot. And you completely forget about the shooting underneath the egg or they patch it out of the game. Yeah, just build one of these thingies right next to it and mine away, and the monsters will not bother you at all. Can't find me. Alright guys, so the next hot tip is to use your scanner on ships when you're shopping for a new ship. And that's my ship there. If I hold my scanner on it, says it's worth, and I'm looking on the left hand side here, it says X-Wing TIE Fighter Hybrid, Starship, name X-Wing TIE Fighter Hybrid, class Fighter, B class, and then it's got a 34 with a +8. So that means it's got 34 slots plus 8 tech slots, and then it says value underneath that, which is the price. So it's 21,500,000. So if I look at one of the other ships that's here, this one's called Skylack of the Void. It's a fighter, B class. It has 27 slots and 5 tech slots, and the guy wants 8,550,000 for it. Any other ships here? Ooh, that one looks cool. Ooh, fighter, C class. It's worth no, it's 17,900,000. It's got 34 slots plus 8 tech slots. It's actually a lot for a little fighter like that. What about this one? Fighter, B class, 25 slots plus 4 tech slots, 5.8 million. So use your scanner on ships that you're looking at buying. Because, ooh, what's this one? It's a shuttle. It's worth $500,000 and it's got 18 slots and 3 tech slots. Cool. As I said, use your scanner on ships to figure out what you want to buy because it'll tell you everything about them straight away. The other hot tip is if you're going to hang out in systems like this shopping for a new ship and you want to find those super exotic ships or better ships, you're best off checking out the richest systems, which are... I've got my list here somewhere. Advanced, affluent, blooming, flourishing, high supply, opulent, prosperous, and wealthy. If you stop in those systems and stop at the trade depot, you have the highest possible chance of getting the coolest ships, or the most rare ones. What's that one? 5.8 million, B-class fighter, 25 slots, 4 tech slots. Red Belt Future. Cool. But anyway, that's the next hot tip. Alright guys, so tip number 8 is if you're shopping for one of those ships and you've found yourself a rich system, and you've found yourself a trade depot at that rich system, which is where you need to hang out. You can use what's called the reload strategy to help find them faster. Now what this involves is building a save point, which I don't know if I can build one right now. I cannot. But anyway, build yourself a save point, save right there, and just keep hitting escape after you've saved, not before. After you've saved, hit escape, and click on reload autosave. Now every time you do this, the system's going to generate new ships that are flying around that are going to come land in this system. So that ship might be there this time, but if you reload, something different will land there. And if you keep reloading, you keep cycling through all the possibilities of the ships that could land here, eventually you're going to get the S-class ship that's inevitably going to land here sooner or later. So as I said, reload, check all the ships that are around, scan them if you must, and then if you didn't see something you like, reload again and check them all again. And just keep doing that till you find the good ship. I've heard it takes a lot of reloads sometimes, but it does work eventually. But that's tip number 8. Reload! Okay guys, hot tip number 9. If you've found the ship of your dreams and you're ready to ditch your old ship, once you get to this screen, say you're going to buy this one. Once you get to this screen, the negotiate price screen, you see what's in your cargo and you see what they've got. If you're actually going to buy the ship, destroy all the extra bits that you've built on the ship. Break all those S-class shields, break that upgrade, break that scanner, tear it all apart. You'll get the resources for it, and then you can transfer those resources across to your new ship. I don't want to do it because I don't want to break my ship. And then when you buy it, you'll already have the parts to build the new thing, or you'll get a refund of what you just tore apart. They're not always the parts you need to build that new thing, but you can sell them for monies or use them for something else. You know, why let it go to waste when you could take it with you, or at least part of it? Tear those parts apart. Tear those parts apart. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright guys, this is tip number 9 on my list. So if you got one of those upgrades, like the module upgrades, that I got constantly doing all the proper base tutorial / normal missions, you get a heap of these, and a lot of them you don't need. Now, I looked at the value, it says 140 units, I went, meh, and I either threw them away or just dumped them somewhere, and I never looked at them again because I didn't think there was any value of them. I didn't want them, they weren't worth anything, there's no point in keeping them. Wrong. If you take them back to the traders, now I don't know if you can take them to a different trader, that's a ship part, and this is the exosuit trader. If you click to buy stuff from them, there's a button up here that says buy, and you can hit switch. So now he's going to buy things from me. And he says he'll give me 143 nanites for that thing, rather than just throwing it away. Nice! You can take it to any one of these traders, doesn't matter which part goes to which, it looks like. Don't throw them away. If you don't want them, take them to the traders. Just talk to any of them, flick it over to buy. Which, as I said, you go purchase upgrades, and then up here there's a little switch buy, which switches it to sell, and then it'll pop in the top of the list there, and you can just sell it back to them for nanites, which is brilliant! I would have gotten maybe a couple of extra 1,000 nanites had known that a few weeks ago. That's tip number 9. Alright guys, we're up to tip number 10 in my list, and this is a big one. This is the one that I've been hiding from everybody, sort of. Basically, you gotta try and find systems that sell dihydrogen jelly and tritanium. If you're lucky enough to find a station trader that sells either of them, you're lucky. If you're lucky enough to find a station trader that sells both of them, you're even luckier. Basically what you want to do is, the jelly seems to be way more easy to find, but the tritanium is also super important. What you want to do is buy all the jelly you can, which I mean I bought a heap so I'm not going to, and then buy all the tritanium as well. Now notice the price that I'm paying for this tritanium. It's barely 10 grand at the moment. 11,000 for a stack of tritanium. And how much do they want for the jelly? 50 jellies will cost you another 10 grand. So 22,000 is what I paid for all that. Now once you get a heap of jellies, it'll look like this in your inventory. I've been basically just sending them to my freighter so I can go back and actually refine them. So just load up your freighter with jellies. That's step number 1. Okay, step number 2 is to go back to your freighter and refine all these jellies into dihydrogen. And then load them into your ship. So once you've done that, your ship will look like this. It'll have a heap of dihydrogen in it, and nothing else. So once you've got a heap of dihydrogen in your ship, then you just go system to system like you normally would, but every time you stop past another ship, try and see if they got tritanium. I mean, I doubt this guy does, I'm just looking for example. If he does, great. If he doesn't, fine. You definitely get way more than you do... What ship is that? Nothing exciting. You definitely get way more from the guys in the stations than you do from the trade hubs or from the guys that stop into your own freighter. Of course he doesn't have any, that's fine. But anyway, if you can find one that sells it, you can get about between 1,000 and 3,000 usually? 1,000 and 4,000. Which makes a lot of fleet fuel, which is basically what I'm making with it. They're not selling it either. But anyway, I already have some from the trade hubby thing that we just hit. So basically, I've got all this titanium here, and I've got all the jelly in my ship already. So I can just start making frigate fuel like this one. I can just go bang, frigate fuel, or you can just do the old E. And just make as much of it as you can. Now I already had a little bit. I've only got, what, 4 stacks here? You get about $1 million a stack. Now remember, you just watched me pay 22 grand for that. Both of them came from the same spot. And now I can sell it back to that same spot for 4 million. Which I'll show you here. Sell items. Fleet fuel. Where is it? Did I get past it? There it is. There you go. 3,940,000. Boom. That should take me just about 80 mil. Yep, 80 mil.1. So as I said, buy the dihydrogen jelly and the tritanium. The jelly seems to be way easier to come by. Just hit up every, like, you can sit in the station and, like, farm it. As I totally did that to start off once I figured out the strategy at first. But honestly, just keep the jelly on you at all times. And if you just happen to be running past somebody who's selling titanium, you just grab it. Just grab it as you're running by. You keep playing the game, just grab titanium every time you see it. And of course, nobody's selling any. The other strategy you can do is go mine the titanium yourself. This is a lot slower. It's much easier to just keep playing the game when you just happen to be in a station, grab the titanium off other people, and sell it. But anyway, that is my list of the top 10? The top 10 tricks and trips from me, part 2. Don't forget to check out my live streams as well. We're on our way to the center of the galaxy at the moment, so that should be rather interesting. Be sure to check out the rest of our videos, the Spotify playlist, and the Facebook page. If this video helped you at all, please hit that like and subscribe button. Leave me a comment down below if I screwed something up or if they patched something out of the game that I don't know about, or for any other reasons. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the game. You're watching the Mighty Gaming Channel. I'm the Mighty Miguel. I'll see you in there. Peace. See ya. Bye.